So today we're going to be working on some creating in faith Bible journaling, and then I'll also show you how to incorporate that in a tag like I have in the last couple of shows, just to give you an idea that it's not just for Bible journaling. You can still share your faith and creativity in other ways, in other forms. So today we're going to be working with some rub-ons, some watercolors, and just to make it a nice, easy project. For those of you just starting, it's going to be something that's a little less intimidating. For those of you who have been doing it for a while, you may learn a few techniques and tricks that you hadn't thought of before. So I'm going to go ahead and point my camera down and I'll show you kind of what we're going to be doing today. All right. So here's the journal entry that I did. I did this briefly at CHA, and I wanted to show all of you how I did it as well. And with this, we're going to also be making a tag. We'll have plenty of time to do that. And I'm going to go over everything we're going to be using. So, of course, if you don't want a journal in your Bible, you can use a regular art journal or some type of small letter taking or note taking journal. You could also use, an old reclaimed book, a regular book if you want to, and turn that into a mixed media album or journal as well. So, or you could just stick to cards and tags, which are great too, because you can also kind of place those into spots in your Bible to kind of keep you reminded of what you're working on. Snow. How many inches of snow did everyone get? I thankfully live in Southern California, and we did not see an inch of snow, of course. I'm hoping that those of you who did get snowed are safe and are able to start getting out and living life again. It is kind of chilly here today, you guys. Somebody asked why I was bundled up in California. It's chilly and it's windy today, so it's been kind of cold and, well, cold for us. 50s is chilly for us. So, but back to our project today. We are going to be using some rub-ons. I have two sets here. I'm going to use two on one for the tag, one for the Bible. You can do the same techniques and use multiple rub-ons in the same set if you don't want to buy more than one, but I always suggest buying more than one anyways, because you always find different projects you want to use the same piece on. And the thing I like about the rub-ons compared to a stamp is you could see on here, and let me zoom that in a little bit for you. You can see here that, there we go. You can see how crisp and clean that is. And I did this first, and then put the watercolors over the top, which I'll show you in a minute. But a nice thing about these rub-ons is the border or the margin around the rub-on itself is very slim. So you're not going to have a lot of wasted space between the rub-on and whatever medium you put over the top of it, which is awesome. So we're going to be using the rub-ons. We're also going to be using some of the new adhesive rub-ons by Christine Adolph. And she has some beautiful designs, patterns, words, things like that we'll be working with. And I'm going to show you how to use the foil sheets with those. And we're also going to be using watercolors, of course. So let's go ahead and get started. The verse I, of course, am journaling about is in Matthew, book of Matthew, and it's "You are the light of the world," and that's Matthew 5:14. And it just, you got to kind of think of it this way, that we're his light, and however bright or dull we shine kind of reflects that on everyone else. So keep that in mind. And I pulled out my little spot holder. Matthew. Now, the Creating in Faith line is in stores, available in stores now. Check your local stores or check online. I know a lot of them do have it in stock or are low in stock already. I know some stores have already reordered it, which is really exciting. And yeah, I'm just so excited that people are really diving into this. And are enjoying this. So I'm going to turn this down or upside down. And what we're going to start out with first is the rub-on. Now, the rub-on sets come 3 in a set, and there's 2 of the small sets and then 2 of the large. And the small sets are in black and the large sets are in a gold color. And I designed the larger sets for more of like home decor and things like that, with the smaller sets kind of focusing on, you can still do smaller home decor, but more of the Bible journaling and paper crafts. So with the rub-on, you're going to have a backing on it. You want to make sure you take the backing off only when you're ready to use the rub-on, or you're going to end up wasting, or it's going to end up sticking to something else, and then it'll ruin the rub-on. So make sure that you save the backing, keep it on there. I'm going to cut off Matthew 5:14 and save that. I'm going to put that aside. We're going to place it somewhere else onto the Bible page. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place my rub-on down. Now, with the rub-on, it comes with a little popsicle stick. Popsicle stick works great. If you don't have or save one, you can also, there's many other rub-on tools that you can use as well. Now, what I do is I kind of do an overall rub with the rub-on. Nothing too extravagant. What I'm just trying to do is get whatever pieces are going to stick down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with this bottom, and I'm going to pull it towards me so that I create a tension between the backing and the rub-on. And what this will do is it'll allow it to pull itself away from the backing. Sorry if I'm kind of wiggling the camera. And you want to go all the way across, kind of back and forth as you're going, so that you can make sure that you get all of that design on there. Now, rub-ons do take a little bit of time, but for someone like me who really does not stamp well, it could take me 5 or 6 tries to get a clear stamp. Rub-ons, the time it takes is worth it for me. Because it would take me that amount of time anyways to get a clear, crisp image. So that's why I really don't mind that, and I like the quality of the finished design with these rub-ons. So just so you know, it does take a little bit of time, but they are easy to apply. Just keep that tension kind of pulled. You don't want to pull too much, because then you'll lift part of that off. So if you pull too quickly, what'll happen is the pieces that haven't adhered to the paper will lift, and you'll get a partial image, and it'll look really messy. So you just keep going. See how I've already got some of it lifted. I just kind of keep a light tension on there so it helps lift that backing away as I'm rubbing. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to keep doing that. The nice thing about these also is they don't burn through the paper like ink will. I mean, of course, because the paper is so thin, you're going to see the image, but it doesn't bleed through the paper. And doesn't affect any of your other designs possibly on the other side, which is nice. Okay. Keep going. Okay. Been playing with clay the last couple days, and man, my hands show their age after doing that. I feel like I have the hands of a 90-year-old with arthritis after I do sculpting. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, because I have this one little piece, this one little corner left, I'm going to kind of be very gentle, because what happens is it can slip because you're putting that tension onto the rub-on. It could slip and pull part of your design away. So you got to be really careful once you reach the end of that design to kind of really hold it in place while pulling tension on so you don't pull part of that away. So now we have our rub-on, nice and pretty and smooth. We're going to take our watercolors. Now, some of you have asked, and I know some of you asked at CHA, why pan watercolors have these tins. One side is for blending color. That's this side right here. And then this side's for adding water. So when you're using them, you can put your water in this side of the tin and your colors in this side. So that's the purpose. Now, some of these may not bend all the way flat. So when you get it, you can kind of just pressure it a little bit and it'll bend completely horizontal. So, or vertical, horizontal, and allow you to blend your colors. Alrighty. So we're going to place that there. I have a little bit of water and a brush. You could also use a water brush. Due to me rearranging my office, I have very little in order, plus being at CHA, things kind of have not been put back to where they belong. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water. The water colors, I'm just blending it. You can see the nice bright color. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and go right over my, let's pull the water out a little bit, right over my rub-on. And it's not going to lift the rub-on or anything. I'm going to take a little bit of blue now and blend that in with our purple. Nice thing about watercolors is you can go over your wording and you're not going to obstruct any of the words in the Bible, which, I mean, really, that's the whole point of why we're doing this, is to kind of highlight the words in the Bible, not cover them up. That's just my opinion, but this really, Bible journaling is really a personal preference. So you do what feels comfortable to you. Okay, so we now have our watercolors down. Now they look kind of light in the camera, but they are pretty bold on my paper. Now you will notice that it does warp your page, and you may find if you use too much water, it could seep through the paper. So if you do have something, you can put a craft mat in between your pages. I know some other designers have made page protectors to slip through there just for Bible journaling. So you can check those out also. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat dry this to kind of speed up the process a bit. And that is over here in my new set of drawers. Okay. I did not prime the page. I'm not big on priming just because I haven't gotten into the habit of doing that. But you could definitely prime the pages if you want to. When I Bible journal, I'm usually sitting in the living room with the family, and it's just kind of night time, quiet time. So I don't usually have all of that with me. But definitely, if you're wanting to prime the pages, use a great primer, a great gesso to prime it is Prima's Clear Gesso. That works really well. If you can't get a hold of that, a clear or a matte finished gel medium, a matte medium will work also, and it won't have that gritty finish to it. But I did it straight onto the page. Another reason why I don't do it, I like I like the way the watercolors go directly onto the paper. If I go and I see now here, it didn't bleed through much. So if I wanted to do something else on this side, I may use a little bit of white gesso to kind of give it a wash to camouflage if it does seep through. But just so you know, you do have the option of doing just onto the raw paper or gessoing it. Alright. And because the paper's fairly thin, it's not going to take very long to dry. Alright. Okay, so now that our piece is dry, you can see that it has warped a little bit more. Once you've closed the Bible or your journal, that page is going to smooth out a bit. And I'll show you in my other Bible that I've done already how it's smoothed out and really has it's got a little crinkle to it, but it's smoothed out and it's not going to affect the paper any. Okay. Now, real quick, I wanted to show you something else I used my rub-ons on. And I used it on a Webster's planner. And I've had this on here for probably almost 6 months now. And it hasn't chipped or anything yet. So it's really fun to use it on other mediums, other surfaces. You can really have a lot of fun with these. So that's just another idea. And I'll show you another one that my daughter did on the Bible that I'm using as well. So now that this is on here, yeah, well, Carrie brought it up, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. She went ahead and took one of the large ones. This is one of the large rub-ons, and put it directly onto her Bible. So a lot of you may not be able to, or this is one of her this is her cover design. She got a new one from my mom, so she let me have this one to demo in. But this is a great way to kind of decorate your the front of your cover if you're not very artistic or you don't want to put a lot of time into it. You take one of the large rub-ons and put that on there as well. So yeah, she's taken this every Sunday for a while, and there's rub here and there, but it just kind of adds to the character, I think. You could also put a coat of varnish or ice resin over the top, and that'll protect it. Okay, so now that we have our page dry, we're going to go ahead with a little bit of the adhesive rub-ons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this pattern down here, kind of a fishnet pattern. And I'm just going to cut a little bit from it. So you can cut out of the pattern, which is nice. Okay. And then across. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and place that same thing. Pull the backing off. You want to make sure you're not going to pull the backing off until you're ready to use it. And then you're going to go ahead and lay that down onto your page. Take that stick, just rub it across. Okay, and then pull it up. And you'll see where the rub-on is, which is nice. You're not guessing where it's going to be coming from or going. And then I'm going to use the pink for this one, I think. The pink set comes with, let me see, kind of 3 shades, different shades. I'm going to use the lightest shade. Well, maybe, because I already put down, well, we're using the darker shade because I already put down the foil went onto my page. So I'm just going to put that on there, rub it down a little bit. I put it on the wrong way. Dang it. That's what I thought was happening. Shoot. It fell the wrong way. So we're going to redo that because it's pulling my adhesive off of here. Shoot. Okay. When we rub it, we're going to put it down that way. Okay. Yeah. So let's start over again. Pull my rub on. We're going to cut a little more. Let's do down here. We'll just go right across here. Just like that. We'll go back over them later too when we do the tag. So I'm going to again go down with our rub-on adhesive, and these are a great companion for the Creating with Faith collection too. Okay, so this time I am going to take the lighter color. I'm going to put it silver side down. You want to make sure it's silver side down because that's how it pulls the foil. Gosh darn it, pulls the foil off of the sheet. So you put it foil side down or silver side down. Lightly rub it. Doesn't take a lot of effort. Okay. If you don't feel you have a complete cover, you can go over it again. You can see the fun little pink. I have a little spot down here, so I'm going to come down here. You added that nice little touch to our page. Really fun and easy. Yeah, the adhesive rub-ons work with glitter, work with embossing powder, micro beads, anything you want to add, the flocking powder, anything you need an adhesive backing to, those are going to work really well with. Foil, regular gold leafing will work as well. Okay. So here's our little entry for our Bible. You could do some personal journaling here if you like. When I did this design, I wanted to keep it open, so if you had any letter taking, note taking, you can include that as well. Now that I'm done with the page, I'm going to go ahead and put my Matthew 5:14 down at the bottom and go ahead and rub that on as well, so that when I turn back and reference to this page, I know what I was referencing in my journaling. Okay. Another great way to reference your journaling is with the Bible book stamp set. And it has all of the Bible books. Here, I'll show you. It has all of the books of the Bible. It has numbers. We've added a little emojis to include in the top of your pages, so that when you're switching, or you can add it to tabs in your Bible, it'll help you reference what that verse kind of represented to you, which is fun as well. So that's one of the Bible stamps now, or stamp sets, the Creating in Faith stamp sets. I suggest getting a little plastic container to kind of store these in, because there is a lot of pieces to it, which is great. But just to kind of keep track of all of them, get a little tote. I love this little set. Yeah. All right. So now that we've got this done, we're going to go ahead and transfer this idea over to a tag. So my page is done. I can go ahead and close it up. I'm going to put my Bible aside. Now, if you have a local store and they carry Bible journaling supplies, ask them to put a group together. Put a Bible and journaling group together. It's a great way to kind of meet others who have the same ideals as you do. It's a great way also to kind of get people who do kind of feel, the same way as you do, kind of get them more comfortable in doing what they want to do. So that's kind of an idea you can kind of bring up to them. If you have any churches that maybe want to do a women's group or youth group, or just a regular Bible journal group for everyone, it's a really fun way to do that. Now we have our little tag. I'm going to do the same thing, but different, kind of different order. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do my watercolors first. And we're going to go in same color tones. And of course, you can do different ones if you want. This is just a regular manila tag, Ranger manila tag. Now I'm adding a lot more water because I want it a little bit looser than what it's doing. Okay, I'm going to add water first, which is a wet on wet technique. We're going to add a little bit of blue in here. Okay. A little bit of teal. Kind of just mixing those colors together. Okay. Just add a little bit of water. Kind of splatter it on there. And that'll break up the watercolor as well. And now that once you have your watercolors down, we're going to go ahead and dry this. I was asked recently in an interview for something that's coming up that what my favorite medium was to use, and I had to say watercolors. I love the light happy kind of translucent feel it has. Whether it's watercolor pans, fluid watercolors, or watercolor pencils, it just all has that same really uplifting look to me. And the organic finish that you always get with watercolors is just so, I don't know, it just feels, I don't know, like I accomplished something real. It makes no sense, I know, but yeah, that's kind of what kind of why my favorite is watercolors. Um, we'll be using watercolor pencils. I'm going to be traveling to Australia to teach here at the end of February and beginning of March. I'll be teaching some mixed media workshops there. Um, if you're in the, I'm going to be teaching at Artified down in the Melbourne area, and then also I'll be teaching at Jane Davenport's at her location, her studio in Byron Bay. So I'm really excited. And we're going to be, I'm going to be teaching everyone how to create their own balloon girls. And we're just going to have a really good time. I'm really excited to get to go with my mom. This is almost dry, you guys. We're going to be doing a little road trip, which should be interesting, driving ourselves through Australia. But it'll be fun. Also, in April, I will be teaching a couple workshops, actually Bible journaling workshops in Texas. I'll have some more information on that up on my pages here soon. I'll be kind of north and west of the Dallas area. So if you want more updates on my Bible journaling workshops and other locations, make sure you follow me on Facebook, and that's Facebook. I believe it's Jamie Creating in Faith, or just look up Creating in Faith with Jamie Dougherty, and that'll come up that way as well. Also, you can find me on my artist page at Facebook /Jalen Scraps. So both locations I share a lot of my upcoming events with. So now that I have my background done, I'm going to go ahead and do our rub-on next, or our adhesive rub-on next. And I'm going to go ahead and take a different pattern. I'm going to take this floral pattern. Since we're on the same sheet, I'm just going to cut it out, the little square out. Okay. Take off my backing. Okay. And then I'm just going to set it on there. It doesn't matter exactly where. I'm just wanting to kind of build up layers. Here is my little popsicle stick. There it is. I'm going to rub that on there. And then I'm going to take our gold foil, or our pink foil, place that down. I kind of like using my finger for the foil rub-on. Okay. Oh, I had 2 sheets down there. And when you're doing these, you could see where the foil picks up off of the sheet. So you can see here where it's lifted off of the sheet. All right. Now this would be really cool. You could put it this way or this way, cut out this pattern and use it just as it is on a card backing or something like that as well. So we have our little foiled rub-on, and now I'm going to take, actually let's go ahead and take a different one from the set. We're going to take God is within her, she will not fail. So we're going to take that and place it right on our tag. Now you can use whichever rub-on from the set you want. Again, I'm going to go all the way across. And then I'm going to start in a corner and lift that up as I go. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to lift and rub it as we go. Now some of these rub-on patterns have open designs like the heart and the leaves. You can go in later on and color those in with more watercolors or markers, pencils, whatever you want. Kind of add a little contrast to that. And see, even with our different layers, the rub-on's still going on smoothly. We don't have a lot of conflict between the other rub-on or the watercolors, which is really nice. Some rub-ons, you find it difficult to put on anything but paper, and these ones go on really well. I put it on my cell phone case and put a coat of ice resin over the top of it. I cut a couple a couple of them, kind of mismatched them together, and added some paint, and then put ice resin over the top to protect it. And now it won't come off. And I just got the clear phone case on Amazon. I think it was like $20. It's a good case that'll protect my phone, but I was able to kind of still have fun with it also. All right, we're almost done here. And you can see this one's going a little bit quicker than the other one. I was acting a little more gingerly with the Bible page because it's so thin. I didn't want to put too much pressure on it so we wouldn't rip it. So this is our little tag. Same idea. We reverse the steps so you can see that you can still get the same looks, different technique steps, but using the same product. So you see there's different results with the same product and different results with the same ideas. That just kind of gives you different ways to use what you have on hand. And that's kind of what I'm really big on, is using what you have in different ways so that you get the most out of your product and you get the most out of your techniques that you use. Okay. Now, I try to do a tag with each one of my Bible journaling pages just so that I could keep them in my Bible. I can hand them to other people. During Christmas, the kids and I put a couple in the grocery store with some gift tags on the back, kind of just a little happy surprise to somebody who's going shopping during the holiday season. But that's just kind of a couple ideas. It's also fun to just kind of keep them on hand for gifts and things like that as well. Alrighty. Does anybody have any questions on the product we used today? Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm so excited. I'll be doing a next show, I think next month. I'll have to double check. Yeah, right before I leave for Australia, we'll be doing another tag and page set. And I'll be showing you just more different ways that we can create in our faith. Again, make sure you come and join us. There's a lot, if you're just starting out with this, there's a lot of groups on Facebook that you can join to kind of get started. You can join mine at Creating in Faith, Bible journaling group. There's, tons of groups now on Facebook that you can join that are based on faith and creativity. So definitely please join us in that. Oh my goodness. Can we do another page? We can do another page. I don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah, that was kind of one of the quickest. Yeah, and I do have another coloring book coming out. That's actually a great kind of complement to the Creating in Faith collection. So let's go ahead and do, let's see, you get a bonus page today. I don't even know what to do, you guys. Let's see. You guys want to do this one? Here, let's see. You guys want to try to do this one? Okay, so let me go grab some tags and we'll go ahead and do another one. Alrighty, so let's go and I'll grab my tags. Let's see here. I think this is one of them. Is this it? Okay, let me find my big ones. Nope. Sorry, ladies. Gotta find my goods. Alrighty. Okay, so for this page, what you're going to do is we are going to need the journaling tabs or the note cards. I use the 4x6 note cards, and I use the 3x4 note cards. And these work great for ATC cards, card fronts, taking notes in your journaling Bible, whatever you want to do. And this is actually on Proverbs 3:5. So we're going to put that one aside. I'm going to grab another one. I'll show you the tag. We may not have time to do the tag as well for this one, but I'll show it to you. Let's see. Here it is. So here's the little tag companion for that one. You can kind of see how that design is. Now the lighting's really, let's see, does that help? That helps a lot. It's not as orange. So that's the tag companion to that one. And let's go ahead and find our page. Proverbs 2 or 3:5. Oh, there's another one with the gold leafing or the foil that we did during oh, did I already do that one? 3:5. Okay. So here is this one. And what we're going to do is, let me move some of this other stuff out of the way first. Now I have a huge mess. My desk has been so clean for the past few days. I know, it's unheard of. Those of you who know me know how unbelievable that is. Okay. So we're going to start with cutting out some squares. It doesn't have to be exact. They're just going to be random sized squares. Doesn't have to be precise. I'm going to go ahead and take this tag out of here. It says trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and it has Proverbs 3:5. We're going to go ahead and use that. And actually, you know what? We're going to just use this one tag. We may have to cut a little bit out of another one, but we should have everything on this. All right. And I'm just going to cut some squares out. And again, they don't have to be, you know, an exact size. What we're wanting to do is kind of create a mosaic up our page. So we're just going to do them in different sizes from the patterns in the sheet. Okay. Kind of see where we need other pieces to kind of fill in. Okay. Keep going up the page. Cut a larger one out. I'm not going to fill this part in completely because we're going to cover it with another square, so no big deal there. I'm going to cut this, cut that in half. And then do a couple little squares for this side. All right. So we're going to place those down kind of where we want them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a little mat. I double layered this mat using the tag. Now this you can cut out with a paper trimmer, so you know that you're getting exactly the size that you want. Me, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, which I think I'm going to need another tag, just a little one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one out of my small piece. So let's grab a color that's going to kind of match. There, we'll do the yellow, I think. And what I'm going to do is just take this and make a little border around my square. Okay. All right, like that. Make myself a little mat. Can't see that, it's not focusing. But we have our little mat, and now we're going to place everything down with adhesive. And I have to find my adhesive. You know, a clean room is not a very functional room. Just saying. All right. So I'm just going to start placing these little guys down. Don't need to put a lot of adhesive down. I'm using zip dry. It's not going to like seep through your page. Okay. Put that guy aside. We're going to pop that up with a little 3D foam. Okay. Let me move my sleeve out of the way. Okay. Like so. This is another easy page that, you know, a lot of the paper crafters will feel comfortable doing. They're not going to feel intimidated in using their supplies that they already have and things like that. So those of you who want to kind of start your own little group, kind of gives you a few ideas. You're more than welcome to use these ideas in your Bible journaling groups. I just ask that you don't charge people for them. But you're more than welcome to use these ideas in your church groups and things like that. Okay, so I've just got one little more piece left here, like so. And then we're going to grab some little foam squares and pop up our yellow backing. Before I put this down, I'm going to go ahead and just lightly ink the edges of it so that they kind of, it pops a little bit. So just right along the edge. Doesn't have to be anything really heavy. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Sorry about that, guys. So we're going to place that down there. Okay. And then this next square, I'm just going to glue down flat, but I am going to ink this one as well. Okay. And like so. Put that on there. And then what we're going to use is we're going to use the wording right off of here. We're going to cut that out. Yeah, for sure. You could definitely lift these ideas for other Bible journaling classes. And please, I'd love if you share your group events and pictures of groups that you put together and stuff on my page. Love, love, love that. Okay. So we're cutting out these words, these little strips. Okay, one more. Alrighty. Put that aside. I have a couple little, that. We're just going to glue these strips right onto our little frame we just made. Okay. Stay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to grab a chalk ink. And I used kind of a brighter color. Let me see. I used, I think a brick, no, it wasn't brick wall. I think it was ladybug maybe. Where is ladybug or rosebud? Rosebud will work as well. And I am going to grab a Q-tip. Actually, a couple Q-tips. And we're going to go ahead, and this is how I get the color in between all of those little squares and around those squares. Dab the Q-tip into your chalk ink, and then you can go ahead and draw around your little frames. Okay. You just continue all around the little frames you put in here. And as you can see, I'm not being super neat about it. Kind of giving it like a sketched look here. Okay. Continuing down here. And so on. All right. And that's how I did the pink frames. And now I'm going to pull my, sorry guys, I'm trying to find my stamp set that I already have open. So I don't have to open another one. Here it is. I have all my little stamps in here. And I'm going to go ahead and look for Proverbs. And another nice thing about having the clear container is I can look through the case for the book or verse that whatever I'm wanting. Let's see, there it is. And they all stick to the bottom of the case. So I'm going to take Proverbs. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in. Stamp it. And I just use my finger when I'm using these smaller stamps. Let's see, my ink pad. Okay. And another thing with these, they're so small. If you ink it, really heavily ink it, you can give it a frame by using the edge of the stamp pad. So I'm just kind of, sorry, rocking it back and forth, and I've made myself a little frame to cut around. So we're cutting proverb. All right, I'm going to pop that up as well. I found this container at Joann's, I believe. Yeah, it's just a little, who makes it? Art bin. It's an art bin, little art bin container. Hi, Delana. And you could find them at a lot of, like, Michael's and other stores like that. Anywhere carries art bin should have this size. So I have Proverbs, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the verse, which we have a ton of numbers. You don't have just one of each number. You have a whole slew of them. And I'm going to go ahead, and I'll do that later. Actually, no, let's do 3, 5. I have my little colon, and I'm going to find my 3. And I have my 5. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place those on my finger. right next to one another. Now you can do these individually, but to save myself time, I'm just going to do them all at once. If you want them closer, spaced closer together, you could of course do them individually. Because I did that on the original. I did them individually so the numbers were spaced a little bit neater. Okay. Now, those of you who remember the Prima stamp sets that had where you click them together, those would be awesome supplies for Bible journaling as well. So if you have those, pull those out too. Alrighty. So we're going to put our little verse down here. I'm going to just place it kind of underneath so I'm not blocking any words. And then lastly, what I did was I went ahead and I kind of doodled a little bit, but I also stamped some of the flowers. And the flowers come from our phrases set. And they come, let me see. I'll show you a set in just a second. Where's my little flower? I use it a lot, so it may not be in here. Sometimes my stamps go missing. I'm not seeing it in here. Oh, yeah, it is right here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stamp a couple flowers, like three to five. Always want to do odds when embellishing like that. Easy peasy. And then we're going to roughly cut these out. I'm not following the lines. I'm just kind of giving it a border around the stamp. Close border, but just a border around the stamp. And then we're going to pop those off the page, cascading down our page. Okay. So I'm going to put one here. And you can use a contrasting color of paper if you want. Like on the original, I went ahead and used like manila tag to stamp these on so they kind of stood out away from the rest of the color. So kind of keep that in mind. We're going to pop this one up. Like so. And then our last little flower. So fun. Okay. And like so. All right. And then you can take a pen if you want to. Let's see. Where is a pen? Trying to get all fancy and clean and it never happens to stay very long. And this is why, because I can never find anything. I'll just use a pencil. I'm just going to do a couple little hearts. Kind of just color them in. And that just creates another little focal point to follow down the page. Okay. Kind of do them all the way down, whether it's circles or little crosses, something that'll kind of attract your eye all the way down. All right. So there is another little page, quick little page that you could do using ink pad, couple stamps, and note cards. Now, those of you who like to take notes in church, those are great to kind of keep on hand as well. I made this little contraption to put on my Bible that has pens and pencils, and then I have my little note cards stuck in there that I can write prayer requests on the back, or I can take notes and then just place it in my Bible for later on and do all of that as well. So that's kind of another idea for using the note cards. And just I mean, honestly, you can place it, plop it right onto a card front and give it as it is because the designs are just so beautiful. These are the 3x4s. I'll show you some of the designs. You could probably notice that the fabric was the same. I'm going to be releasing some more fabrics with my designs on them this year. But you can see there's so many designs in here that you can use in your Bible, use in your art journals, scrapbooking. The design team with Prima does such an awesome job showing you different ways on how to use this collection. But I just wanted to give you another idea. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you for joining us for this class. And I really appreciate you all joining in. I love it. Thanks, guys. I'm going to have more of those contraptions. They're going to be kind of a limited edition thing. I'm going to make ones in a whole bunch of different Mod Podge of fabrics. There's not going to be really rhyme or reason, but I'm going to place them on my Etsy shop here in a few weeks. Got to get caught up from CHA. And I need to prepare for leaving for Australia. So, but I should have some of those up on my Etsy shop here soon. Do you have any other questions? Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. If you ever have questions about any of this, whether it's Bible journaling, how you get started, where you could find the Creating in Faith line, just questions on faith in general. I'm not an expert, but I'm more than happy to answer questions that that you might have, or insecurities or anything like that. Please make sure to contact me. You can find me on Facebook, Creating in Faith with Jamie Dougherty. You can find me on my website, jamiedoughertydesigns.com, or you can email me at jaylinscraps@gmail.com, and I'm always willing to help you guys out. Also, I have a group. Yes, make sure you guys join the group. It's Creating in Faith, and you can post anything faith-based. It doesn't have to use the Creating in Faith line. Of course, it's a plus, but anything creating in your faith and showing your creativity through God's Word, you're more than welcome to post there. So please join me there. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.